Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Mindset Reset Time snapshot session. My name is Sonja Kirschner. I'm also known as the Mindset Medium. These sessions, these Mindset Reset Time snapshot sessions are really designed to help us to shift from a mindset of lack, fear, disempowerment, anger, frustration, whatever it is that we are experiencing that makes us feel low, stressed out, worried, disencouraged, to a mindset full of possibility, a mindset full of self-belief in all things being possible for us, a mindset of looking at the world full of positive expectation and embracing the opportunities to come, because having developed a strong belief that yes, we can, and we are here to create amazing experiences. We just had a Mindset Reset Time workshop completed, and I'm coming on here to recap the most important message what we have spoken about. But in case you're wondering what the Mindset Reset Time workshop sessions are all about, they are around 2 hours long. You can pop in as you please. Essentially, it's group coaching workshops all about to reset our mindset in the best possible and strongest perspective, where I guide people through as and when they need it. And all sorts of different topics are coming up, including the topic of how to break through. How do I create a breakthrough? Something which came up today, and I really want to summarize what we have discussed so that you guys can also take away something valuable for yourself. In case you're interested in coming along to one of these more in-depth sessions, feel free to sign up for a free day pass under themindsetmedium.com, themindsetmedium.com, the link to which you find in the description. So how do you create a breakthrough in any kind of difficult situation for yourself? In any difficult situation where you've been trying to make progress and things are just not working out for you, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your career, whether it's your business, whether it's your health, your, personal experiences, how you are experiencing life, whatever it is, how do you create a breakthrough? You see, a breakthrough happens when, and I know that you know this, I'm here just to remind you, when does a breakthrough happen? Most of us experience a breakthrough when we've been through enough pain, when we realized that enough is enough. We made the conscious decision, the commitment to change something. And that pain, that may be as deep on the vibrational reference scale as feeling desperate, a real sense of despair. We've reached a state where we say, really, not another minute, not another hour, not another day. I'm going to change it. I absolutely must change it. It must change, and I can change it. This is the moment when you make a decision to change. So we've been through enough pain to change something, and something incredible happens with the human spirit when we make the decision, when we essentially decide to only look forward and completely cut off what's behind our old story. Our human spirit comes up with tremendous ways how to make us more resourceful, to gain and to attain that goal, that new vision for us. And also, not only experiencing the pain, which is obviously crucial ingredients here, but at that moment when you decide, for yourself that you change a belief that hasn't served you for such a long time, a belief that has been holding you back. Whether it's let's use the example of, let's say you are overweight and you've been struggling with your weight for your entire lifetime. Like one of my clients who was a medical practitioner, and he came to me and said, Sonja, I've been struggling with weight all my life and I just can't seem to break through. And I'm at the stage where I really want to break through. This is where I've decided to seek help. But it was all about changing at that moment, experiencing enough pain and changing the belief about yourself, that from you cannot to from you cannot, you don't deserve, I'm not worthy, to I can and I will and I must and I deserve and I'm worthy. So this the change of belief in that moment, which goes hand in hand with the pain, where you cut off a painful situation. And also for the change to last, you need to develop certain, not only the new belief about yourself, but you need to ingrain into your system, really, into your conscious and unconscious mind, but also develop new tools and strategies and ways to keep you there, right? There's so many people desperate wanting to lose weight, but most people, and we are talking more than 75% of the people who lose weight within 2 years, they not only gain the same weight they had before, but they gain an additional 2 pounds within only 2 years because they don't have the strategy and the tools. So what are the three key steps to create a breakthrough? And most of us start the wrong way around. Start with the logical mind. Start to strategize. What is it that I need to do to make progress in this area? What is it that I need to make happen, right? What is it that I need to read? What is it that I need to implement? Who is it I need to speak to? But like in my client's case, or many people who are overweight and want to lose weight. I mean, did you know a statistic here? Did you know that in the UK, around more than 65% of people are overweight? And in the US, the number is even higher, 75% of the people. Okay, probably not everybody wants to lose weight, but there is a certain number of people who want to lose weight, who want to feel healthy, and who want to, fit into their clothes, the clothes they feel comfortable and confident in. But not many people manage to do that sustainably. Not many people manage to do that sustainably. And to be honest, having the strategy in place, these people have the strategy in place, right? People know what to do to lose weight. I mean, these days, it's especially in this day and age, you have to really turn yourself completely off the online world to see strategies, tools on how to lose weight and how to become fit, right? So the strategies are there. Most people have the strategies. We all know what we need to do. Even the people who don't want to or don't need to lose weight, we know what we would need to do to lose weight and to become fit, right? But the people who want to lose weight and struggle with losing weight, for them the strategy is not the driving force, although they have the knowledge, but they don't do anything with the knowledge. So what is it that makes people not follow through on the things they know that would make progress for them, that would make them happy, essentially? Because when we make progress in an area of our life, whether it's relationship, finances, our career, our health, whenever we make progress, it gives us a stimulus. It gives us a boost. It makes us happy, right? So what is it that most people don't follow through when they have the information? Like the people, like my client who was overweight, he had all the information. He was even familiar with the pain the pain of what overweight or excessive weight, obesity can cause. He was a medical practitioner. What is it that made him stop, not follow through? So clearly the strategy was not the determining factor, yet most of us believe that it's the strategy that we need to start with, okay? That is the strategy that we need to start with. There is another element here, and it's also starts with an S. It's our story. The story we tell ourselves about who we are, what we believe to be true for ourselves, what we believe to be true for the people around us, how we see the world. Our beliefs is essentially our beliefs about ourselves, how we fit into the world and other people. Our story. What is our story? You see, if you have a belief that you will never be able to return to your size 12, 10 jeans, whatever it is that the goal is here, right? That you will never be able to go back to where you are coming from. It's not going to happen for you. If you have a belief that you are not worthy, that you are not strong enough, that you are not capable enough, that you don't deserve, that you are going to act in a way that matches your belief. Your story has an impact on how you execute your strategy, whether you actually take it on, whether you do anything, right? Your story, our beliefs are like a filter that decide, okay, I'm going to go for something and I'm going to immerse myself and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to, I'm going to get the island or not. Yeah, our story. Let me give you an example. Have you, well, of course you have, been at the dinner table and a family was telling me this example, and it's a great example. And the parents asked the son to go and get the salt. And the son is enjoying his meal and he doesn't really want to get out and get the salt, but the parents insist, go and get the salt. So the son reluctantly gets up, and as he's walking to the kitchen, he's saying, I don't know where the salt is. I don't know where the salt is. I don't know where the salt is. He even turns around to his parents and says, I don't know where the salt is. And the parents say, come on, you know where the salt is. It's in the kitchen. He's going to the kitchen, opens the cupboard where the salt normally is, but he keeps telling himself, I don't know where the salt is. And he can't see the salt anywhere. He can't see the salt. And he shouts over to the dinner table to his parents, I don't know where the salt is. The salt is not here. It's not here. The salt is not here. So one of the parents gets really angry and gets up and walks over to the kitchen cupboard. And the salt is right there in front of him on the second shelf. It's right there. So the boy, his eyes saw the salt. But he kept telling himself over and over again as he was walking to the kitchen that he didn't know where the salt is. And that became his new belief, his new story. So the belief has essentially acted like a filter. It filtered out him perceiving the salt, although the physical eye has picked it up. And this term this phenomenon has a term in the psychology. It's called scotoma, right? So this is how our story, even though it's short-lived in this instance, it was only a few minutes, but this is how our story, how our belief about what's possible, what's not possible, what I can expect, what I shouldn't expect, etc., how it's impacting our reality and what we are willing to do and undertake and risk and make a habit of, right? That's the story. It's incredibly powerful. The story sits right in the middle of the trilogy. So the 3 key steps to achieving a breakthrough, the 3 keys. The story is right in the middle. And the last element. So we had the strategy, which we know it's the how, but the how is not going to happen unless we have a motivation, unless we're inspired, unless we have a story that goes in our favor, that serves us, that motivates us, that inspires us, that lifts us up, that makes us essentially focus only forward. Imagine you're driving a car and all you do is you're looking into the rear mirror. You're focusing on your past and your old story. What's going to happen? You're going to crash, right? You're going to crash because you focus so much on your old story. So I encourage you to think about the areas you want to have a breakthrough in. What is your old story? What is your old story? What are the beliefs that you keep repeating, that you are saying to yourself over and over again on an unconscious basis, right? It's unconscious. Did you know that research has proven that 48% of the things we do every day is habitual? A lot of the things serve us, obviously. We don't need to think about the, shifting gears in our car. It's just natural, but 48% is habitual, which means including our thinking patterns about our story, about what we perceive to be possible and impossible for us. So we need to be really mindful about our thoughts. We need to examine what are the things we keep repeating ourselves day in and a day out. What is this internal dialogue that is impacting how we feel about themselves and how we look at the world? Yeah. So we had the strategy, the story, and the third element, the third and most important element. And this is why I say most people start from the wrong end, strategy, with the strategy, but we should be really all starting with our state. our emotional, physical, emotional state. How do we feel in any given moment in time? We all know how depressed people look like, how they use their body, how they feel, right? I mean, there's so many elements to state how do we use our body being one of them, right? What is the sort of facial expression we practice every day? Do we really use the 80 plus muscles in our face, or are we just practicing the frown and the stressed face and the worried face? How do we use our voice of tone, the volume of the voice? How does the passion to life and the belief that we can come through in our voice, or do we have a monotonous, quiet and really slow pace to how we speak? Which is obviously going to impact how we feel. I mean, there was so much research done on how our state affects how our body language, our physiology affects how we feel, affects how we feel, affects our state. Back to my question. Do you know how a depressed person uses their body? If I were to ask you, I'm sure you know, you would say, well, they are looking down, they're breathing shallow, they're slouched over, they speak really soft and quiet and slowly, right? How do you know this? Because you have practiced this yourself, right? Or if you haven't practiced this yourself, you have seen other people practicing it. This is how a habit around how we use our body can affect how we feel. There were so many studies done in this area, like power poses. I'm sure you have heard about Amy Cuddy and her research, essentially Amy Cuddy being the Harvard psychologist who has proven with her research on power poses, how power posing, only 2 minutes of applying postures of power like Wonder Woman or Superman, can shift our, not only our physiology, but our biochemistry. It quite literally 2 minutes of applying power poses reduces our cortisol by more than 25%, cortisol being the major stress hormone. It increases our risk-taking ability by 30%, right? So we are more willing to act and to push ourselves out of comfort zone just by applying the power pose for 2 minutes. Our testosterone, the hormone, which makes us want to take more risk and take on action, also increases. Or the study, University of California, where they've taken a group of manic depressant patients, manic depressant being that the antidepressant was the only way how to change their state. They have taken them, and they've asked them to smile ear to ear, looking at the mirror for 20 minutes every day. And what happened with only a few days, people started feeling better, and within a month, these people who have been manic depressive for their entire lifetimes, they became completely independent of drugs and were taught, essentially, have taught themselves how to manage their state, right? So the state is incredibly important, and our motion determines how we feel. I'm sure you have heard about this. Emotion is created by motion, and it's so true. So I encourage you to, if you have any major decision to make, get yourself in the right state, get yourself into a peak state. There are many different strategies how you can do that. Not only power posing, there's exercise, radical shift in your physiology. There's doing the things that make you feel strong and empowered. We all have different ways how we can achieve this. But when we approach a challenge, a problem, and it may be something we've been struggling for a long time, from the perspective of, I feel completely strong in my body. I have a strong mindset because I look at the world as if it's happening for me, not to me. Because I look at the world as full of opportunities, and the problems that present themselves, they're just a sign that I am alive. Because let's face it, the only people who don't have problems are in the cemetery, right? So if I look at the world from this empowered perspective, then anything is possible. But it starts with your state, and the physiology, what you do with your body, has an impact on your mindset. You become more confident when you feel physically strong. So they are the three keys. They're the three keys to creating a breakthrough in the right order. Your state, how do you feel? What's your emotional, physical, spiritual state? What is your story? Number two, what is your story? What is the story you keep telling yourself day in and day out about yourself, about what's possible, what's not possible, about how you look at the world and challenges and opportunities? And the third element is the strategy. Strategy is being incredibly important, and I certainly don't want to dismiss the importance of a strategy. A right strategy can save you years in business. It can help you to lose weight fast and keep it off. It can help you to save as a relationship. Strategies are incredibly important, but they are not applied by us if we are not in the right mindset, right? So if strategies, there are strategies that can make you financially independent and secure and successful. And if you follow them, you create a success in your life just by modeling successful people. But if it was so easy, why don't we then all achieve it, right? Why do most people fail in creating the success and abundance that they want and they see in others, even though they are modeling them? There must be more to strategy, right? And I've just explained in the 3 key steps that it's also your story and, more importantly, your state that creates a breakthrough, that makes the impossible possible. So I do hope you find this useful. I encourage you now to think about, the difficult situations you have been experiencing. What is it that you want to create a breakthrough in? And examine your old story. What is it that you've been telling yourself? What is it that you've been telling yourself? What is it that you have bought into unconsciously that you believe to be true about yourself and the world and the people around you? But you recognize that it's holding you back. You recognize that your old story is limiting you. What is it? And what is the new story you would need to create for yourself? What are the new beliefs that you will need to create for yourself to make the breakthrough possible? Okay? And I also want you to examine how what kind of patterns you had around, or you have around the state. What are you doing every day to boost your energy, to put you into an empowering state? Do you have a routine in place that empowers you energetically or disempowers you? Do you exercise, or do you tend to sit on the couch watching Netflix? Do you feed your mind with books that inspire you, or do you watch TV? Okay, you need to stand guard at the door of your mind, because there's all sorts of crap that can come in and just weigh you down all the time, like the news, for instance. Okay, so there's my challenge for you. What is it that you want to have a breakthrough in? What is this area? And it can be something you've wanted to make a breakthrough in for a long time, for years, but you haven't been quite able to. Step number two, examine your old story. What is it you've been telling yourself is not working out for you? What is it that you've started to believe to be true about yourself? Number 3, what is this new story you want to create? Who is it that you would need to become? What is it you would need to believe about yourself to create a breakthrough? And step number 4, examine what you're doing every day, you've been doing every day so far, that either creates an empowering state or a disempowering state. If you recognize that you've been doing the things that make you feel energetically low, you haven't really necessarily doing anything that put you into a peak state, nothing from nutrition, exercise, and any kind of activity that lifts you up and inspires you, then now is the time to examine it and to come up with a routine that empowers your state. And also be mindful of how you use your body language every day. Are you sitting slouch over your desk for hours every day, feeling a sense of frustration and boredom? Or do you know how to snap out of this state into your peak state in a minute? And at the beginning, to be honest, it can be, challenging. It can feel like it's tough and you may not succeed straight away. But you didn't necessarily succeed the first time riding a bike. You may have fallen off, but you kept going and it will get easier. So I encourage you to examine what is happening for you and why you haven't been able to create a breakthrough to date, by examining your story and how you used to use your body, your physiology, the state you've been putting yourself in, and to start applying new ways to shift you out, to create breakthroughs, empowering breakthroughs for yourself. So I do hope you have found this useful. Thanks for the good comments on sounds very powerful. It definitely is. Make sure you give it a try. Remember, the correct order of the key steps you need to take when it comes to breakthroughs is state, number 1, your story, number 2, and then the strategy, not the other way around. Don't make the mistake of starting with the strategy, because that's not where the true and lasting power to breakthrough is. I hope you find this useful. If you enjoy conversations along these lines, feel free to come over and join one of the more in-depth workshops on Mindset Reset, which are taking place every Tuesday at 2 and every Friday at 10. You can get yourself a free day pass at themindsetmedium.com. But for now, live strong and live with passion and go and create the breakthroughs you deserve for 2021. All the best. Bye for now.